everybody. I'm Jackie Reed.
And I'm Kyle Keene.
And we co-wrote and co-directed this next one act. It's a social commentary, so please enjoy, just listen.
Man, he was such a loser. Did anyone even know his name? Every day for 3 years, we would see him sit by himself at lunch, except for his scrawny little friend that would come and go. He had no friends. Why would he? He's ugly, he's dumb, and he sucks at sports. Man, I remember freshman year when he tried out for the quarterback of the football team. He was so bad he couldn't catch a ball, let alone throw one. Sometimes, though, he'd get caught in the legs of a lineman, bring him to the ground. If he didn't snap in half before that. Man, he was great for team morale, though. Picking on him, making him do all the dirty work. Oh, and using him as our tackle dummy. He, of course, dropped out by the end of the season. If you could call it a season for him. I don't think he ever played a game. The coach didn't like him at all, and he was the worst player on the team. My buddies and I still love to remind him of those days when we see him in the hall. It's like he was built to fit inside a locker. Oh, but the best is when we'd knock his stuff out of his hands and send it flying down the halls. Everyone would stare, and then just start laughing. That was priceless. Man, you are such a pathetic excuse for a human. You'll never amount to anything. No girl will ever love you. Oh, and if I catch you looking at my girlfriend like that again, do you see these guns? Think you have a shot? I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, what? You don't talk? Come on. I dare you. Blow me away with some lame insult. That's what I thought. Nothing. Keep your head down and I won't beat you to a pulp again. You know, I think we could really use some more team bonding. And if I ever catch you talking to my girlfriend again, I'll kill you. Lord knows I almost did. Just remember the sound of your skull cracking as I bashed it into the sidewalk.
Can we please not talk about him? He's just... Okay. He scares the crap out of me. It's like my body automatically repels him. Every hair stands up on end whenever I see him. I can't handle him. We aren't friends, and we never were. I don't even know his name. I think we may have had a class together, but I couldn't tell you for sure. I would just get this gut feeling whenever I saw him staring at me. I felt like a target. It started with just side glances to blocks of time. I could feel his eyes watching my every move. He was unbelievably persistent. But then I would turn around and he was near me somehow. He got quite clever. Like, he would bend over to get a drink of water just to stay out of sight. Obviously, I couldn't tell anyone, because then they would think that we knew each other somehow. Then one day, I was walking to my house after hanging out with my friends, and he just appeared out of nowhere. He stopped me and he mumbled a couple of words, and I swear to God, I heard him say, "Run." And then he reached inside of his jacket, and I thought it was a gun or a knife or something because because you never know what a troubled kid can be capable of. I'm fairly smart, and I didn't want to be found the next morning lying in a ditch somewhere. So I ran. I ran as fast as I possibly could to my house. I was screaming, but I was running. How did he even find me? I was absolutely scared out of my mind. When I got home, I didn't know if I should call the cops or my boyfriend. But I was home alone, and I was crying, and I was shaking. I called my boyfriend, and he was furious. He thought you had done something to me. It's all your fault. If I hadn't run away, what would you have done to me in that sick mind of yours? What the hell is wrong with you? I found out my boyfriend had beaten his face so bad he had to go to the emergency room. But he still wouldn't leave me alone. Later that week, I found a bloody letter on my desk. It was a love note from him. I guess that's what he was pulling out of his jacket. Why do you think I like you? Have I ever said a word to you? Please tell me that you haven't done this to other girls. You have such a sick mind. You're unfixable. Why couldn't you just leave us all alone?
I feel like a ghost to you. I have known you all my life. I mean, our parents have been friends since we were born. Remember how in elementary school you would walk me home every day? We were so close. We made plans in the 5th grade to get married, remember? We were going to have 3 kids, 2 boys and 1 girl. You were going to be an architect, and I was going to be a doctor. We were going to live in the suburbs in a nice home you built and raise our family. We were going to grow old and die happy. Together. That never came true. I know we went to different middle schools, but could you really have forgotten about me in just 3 years? Even though we have been reunited in high school, it's like you never even knew me. For 3 years, I have tried everything to get you to notice me again. I would try to intercept you in the hallways during passing period, but you would just put your head down and keep walking. When we would have off periods together, I would try to come and find you, but whenever I got close, you left. Why do you ignore me? I have tried everything to try and express my feelings to you, but you just keep blowing me off. I just want things to be like the way they were when we were little. But with every new attempt, I feel like I was just shooting myself in the foot. It's because of that one girl, isn't it? It's been that way since you met her in your math class, freshman year. You were infatuated with her. I thought you were over it, but God, I knew. You couldn't take a hint from her, could you? She was never into you. She doesn't want to be around you. She tormented you. Her friends bullied you, but no matter how much she tormented you, you would still pursue her. Was she really worth that much to you? Why? All she did was put you down, and all I did was be kind. What was I doing wrong? I loved you. What's wrong with me? Why can I never have a friend who genuinely cares about me? I did everything I could. Am I not cool or popular enough for you? Is that it? Newsflash, you're not either. Is there something wrong with you? Did I just miss some sign? Why are you so hard to figure out? For God's sakes, I am right in front of you. point blank range. I made myself an easy target for you. I know we could have been happy together. Why did you never notice me? Am I dead to you or something?
Sure. He complained all the time about the workload. And sure, maybe he did moan every time I announced a test or a quiz. And maybe he always sat in the back and never answered any of my questions. But he was a great student, an incredibly bright kid with tons of potential. Even though he always griped about the homework, he always did it, and he did it well. Shoot, I was just looking at his grades. He got an A on every test and assignment I'd given him. One of those brilliant kids, and by far one of my best students. 3 separate times, he came into my office looking for help. I thought he needed help with assignments, but he needed help with his life. He would tell me all the problems he was having, at home, at school, with his peers. He would say that he was feeling ignored, useless, purposeless, and unloved, as he put it. Every time we talked, he burst into tears. I felt uncomfortable when he cried. It was kind of a bullet to the heart to see him in such a bad state. But I felt like he wanted to cross a personal barrier that would interfere with the professional relationship that we had. I worked hard to get my teaching degree, and one student was not going to mess that up for me. I mean, I had friends in high school. It's not like I could relate to him anyway. After a whole period of us talking, I would sit him down and give him some strategies to help his social life. I basically told him to speak his mind, and I thought if he was himself that someone would talk to him. Although, on several occasions, he became agitated and I was worried he would violently lash out. Once, he slammed his hand down on my desk and asked why I didn't understand. I never told a counselor or his parents. I never felt the need to. I mean, we all go through that phase, right? I just thought he was experiencing some typical teenage angst. I thought he'd get over it. I just blew him off. I thought it would all go away when he went to college, because everyone knows that high school should not be the end of anyone's life. Sure. I guess I would have written a recommendation for him. Maybe if he wanted. Maybe if he had asked. Why was I the teacher you went to? Did it seem like I would be sympathetic? To be frank, I never wanted you to come back. I just wanted you to turn in your papers and be fine.
You always hear those stories about the kids that never really do anything with their life. Your mom's always worried because you can't get a date to prom, because you don't go to a football game because you're afraid of getting another black eye. Yeah, I guess he and I were always friends. And we were best friends in kindergarten. We always shared our cookies and our crayons, and you know, that type of stuff. And they would always call us freaks, just because we couldn't talk to girls the way other guys could. We would always go to school. We laid low. And then we'd go to his house, crash, pick on some chairs, and play some wicked video games. It's not like we talked much. And when we did, it was about the normal stuff, like hot girls at our school and how much homework we have. I guess I always noticed his swings. That's what you call them. He would just get so angry at nothing and ask me to leave. There was this one time he didn't get aggressive. He just sat there, stared up at the corner of the room. I pushed him, and he slumped over. I got really worried. I thought he had passed out or he was sick and needed to go to the hospital. But then he started to talk. Very, very quietly. He said he just couldn't do it anymore. I had no idea what he was doing. It's not a joke. He just kept saying how he couldn't be the underdog, how he had to find some way out and escape from it all. He said he just couldn't do it. Are you kidding me? I'm the one who was always there for you. You think I have it any better? Every day after middle school, I had to come up with a cover-up story for all my bruises just so my dad wouldn't think I was weak. You were always one to overreact and take it all to hard. You're a man, for Christ's sake. Pull it together. Didn't your dad ever teach you that? Man up! You aren't entitled to feel this way. You just... You should be grateful for what you have and not take it all to heart. We didn't really talk much after that. He sort of disappeared from my life. I tried to talk to him in the halls, but he just looked through me as if I was never there. Where did I go? Where did we go?
I'm fine. I know nobody asked, but honestly, I feel completely at peace. I don't feel like I have too much homework. I'm not concerned with getting all the girls. My grades are good. And I'm looking forward to fresh starts at college. I mean, who honestly cares what happens to you in high school? It's such a meaningless time in a person's life. Sure, maybe I wasn't the most popular or involved, but I'm getting through. I can handle it. Honestly, I can. Or at least I thought I could handle it. But when they stopped carrying the weight bearing down on me, the darkness that consistently surrounded me became too much. The people that brought me into this world didn't care I couldn't handle it. I would come home to an empty house every single night. My parents would come in late, all excited and happy, asking, "How was your day? Oh, good, another A. You're such a good student." Great. Another A. Glad I have good grades and feel like killing myself. Didn't they notice it? Why didn't they think to ask or bring it up during dinner? I felt like no one would listen to me. Guess I was right. Why would anyone care about me? I was alone in this. But you know what? I dealt with it. It was like something invaded the air around me that expelled people. Every time I asked someone for help, they pushed me away. I felt alone. I had no purpose, no way to end this consistent cycle of torment. As long as I have known them, they all left me, one by one. Isn't it weird to think that inside my body there's this thing called a soul? I've been trying to free mine, but no matter how much blood leaves my body, it won't leave! I can handle it. Really, I can. No. Can't take it any longer. For 3 years of my high school life, I was ignored, bullied, harassed, and teased. No one bothered to befriend me, so I didn't bother to befriend anyone. They thought I was dumb because I was quiet in class. They shoved me into the lockers and pushed me down in the hallways. The pressure from my parents, the stress and worry of going to school each day caused was growing. It got to a point where I didn't know how to handle it. Darkness was everywhere, consuming me, following me wherever I went. So I did what I was trained to do. I bottled up those emotions. At first, it was hard, trying every day to fake that I was fine. Then it became quite easy. And I quickly let my bottle fill. After a while, though, my bottle began to crack. I tried pleading for help from my friends and teachers, but none of them would listen to me. They all blew me off. Why would no one come talk to me? Why did I always have to go talk to someone else? Didn't they see the signs? I felt invisible to this world. I had no way to end this consistent cycle of torment. I was in a hell which I could not escape, a soul wandering the earth, no purpose, no one to talk to. Just here. What do you expect? I had no other way out.